Instagram app too, because when I tried to do the live again, it wouldn't let me. So,
Okay.
right?
Well, so here we are. The Instagram gods have allowed us to have our live.
And all the people watching us, right? Fact checking us today.
Yeah. We'll just cheers to our FBI agents really quick. Hi, guys. Thanks. Okay.
So, you know what? It would be good to start with talking about the new IG rules of censorship and monitoring and surveillance. So, do you have a few comments about that?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not quite sure yet, like how deep this really goes, but essentially we are in a censorship world, and that should really tell you something about, the reality that we live in. They say that the tactic of tyrants is, if you can't win the debate, you just silence the debate. You just cancel it. Just don't even acknowledge it. So, you can pretty much assume that things that are being censored are things that could potentially be true. So they really do deserve our attention to look at those things. So as far as them shadow banning the truthers, that's definitely a possibility. It could be that people like you and I get less views because we're really, really driving home really hard-hitting truths. So I'm guessing that eventually we'll all move to a new platform. There's platforms being developed right now. There's many, many different ones that are popping up every day. And I think eventually we'll all choose one, hopefully. And then that's, we are the new media. That's where we'll all go to discuss things and, remain open to things, being true or false, and have discussions, because that's what we need. That's what this world needs is discussions outside of the mainstream.
Absolutely. And you know what, like, for example, there's a lot of things that people discuss on social media that I don't agree with, but I would never think of banning them or censoring what they say. I think everybody's entitled to their opinion, even if I don't agree with it. I'm not a tyrant. I don't believe in monopoly over an opinion. But it's crazy that Instagram and all of these platforms are heavily like investing into censoring accounts, into shadow banning accounts. For example, if you use the word vaccine, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I always kind of like add asterisks to my vaccines, because when you do that, they immediately fact check you and put a link to the CDC or say that some bullshit about it being untrue. You know what I mean? And the new Instagram guidelines are pretty eerie if you think about it, because now they can record everything that you're doing. So if I go on Instagram and I'm on the homepage and I'm scrolling down, they're seeing that. They're recording it. They know which accounts you look at, which accounts you like, which accounts you follow, everyone you're messaging. Nothing is encrypted anymore. Everything belongs to them. All our data is sold to Instagram and to God knows who, and they're using our information. And this is why, and this has happened to me so many times, and let me know, Amy, if that's happened to you. I'll be on the phone talking about something business-wise. I'll be like, oh yeah, we should do a video for blah, blah, blah. And then I'll go on YouTube to play a song, and this ad pops up for the exact company I was talking about. I was on my phone, my laptop, totally unconnected. That is terrifying. It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Those things have absolutely happened to me. Yeah, and apparently too, with these new the new guideline, or the Instagram terms and conditions, they can actually look at your face for your facial expression towards something that you see. So if you see an ad and you're like, I don't like that, then like they can see that and they're like, oh, she doesn't like that, let's put something else. Or this ad maybe it doesn't really appeal to people in her age bracket, and so we'll change the ad. And you can notice how they changed Instagram. They put a shopping button. Has everyone else noticed the shopping button? Well, it really makes sense. It's like, we use social media, we put up our posts and we get those likes, and it gives us a good feeling. We're like, ooh, I got some likes on that post. They liked it. Awesome. So it gives you that quick hit of bliss. Yeah. And then now they throw in the shopping. So now if something comes up and you buy something and you get this hit of bliss, you're like, ooh, I just bought something for, like 2 for $30. Like, wow, this feels really good. Wow. Okay. And so, a lot of people argue maybe our jobs are not actually our jobs, but our jobs are actually to shop. And that's literally just our jobs.
Wow.
So it's just crazy how they've, how they've gotten us to shop on these platforms. So Yeah,
I
we really got to watch what we're doing.
every second I see an ad. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. So somebody said that there is a new app called Signal. Yes, Signal is great. Amy and myself, we use Telegram. There's Signal, there's Parlor. Those are all apps that you can download that are encrypted, and you can have nice conversations where you're not being watched so diligently by Big Brother. Now, are they surveilling us? Maybe, possibly. I think all our information is already stored anyways. However, it's still safer than what Instagram is doing. So a lot of people right now, especially people who talk about issues that are sensitive, are moving away from Instagram, keeping Instagram for the fun, light stuff, for their businesses, just like myself, and then moving to those platforms and having private groups and conversations where we can unapologetically speak our mind.
Yeah, where you can really be yourself and really go for it. Yeah, those Telegram groups are pretty powerful. I'm in a couple that my mind is being blown
Absolutely.
every day. Yeah.
I'll drop my Telegram later, Amy as well, if you want. Just type it in the comments and then we'll try to maybe pin it or something. But yeah, Telegram is one way, Signal's another. But the issue is now you have all of these different platforms. I wish we could just consolidate it to one platform, because I also use WhatsApp for, family and stuff like that. And you've got iMessage, you've got Instagram, you have all of these social media platforms. And I feel like they're so distracting. I turn off all my notifications. I don't get any notifications for any of my accounts, even WhatsApp. So if somebody messages me, I won't know until I decide to go and check it myself.
Oh,
Because
that's good.
my phone, I'm already so stuck to my phone because of my business, because of my customers and clients, that if I could do one thing to step away and really be in the moment and be mindful and conscious of what I'm doing at the time, I'm going to do it.
That's so good that you've set those settings on your phone, because yeah, we do have to self-parent. And I've found myself that I've just gotten so distracted, especially lately. Like, things have just really started to intensify and people are sending me links all the time. And this is along with what we have to do for ourselves physically and mentally, is to self-parent and to realize that, we can only put so much information in, and we have to do other things to honor what it is to be human, like moving and breathing and, socializing, making sure you're chatting with your friends, and just doing normal human stuff. Like, I get the desire to want to stay current,
Yeah.
because it's part of that survival instinct, right? It's like, what's happening? I need to, I need to traverse this. I need to make sure that I have all the information to make the best decisions for my family and for myself, and what's happening. But we do just need to really take those breaks and understand that there's no stopping what's coming, and where we're going collectively. We do have a choice right now in order to shift it one way or the other, but we're writing that story as we go. So we really do just need to accept a little bit of where we're at and to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Somebody asked, what is your opinion on NASA?
Oh.
I have a lot of opinions. Maybe it's time to move to Telegram. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I think question everything is my response. Question everything. I don't, just because a scientist says it is, doesn't mean it is to me. That's,
yeah.
People lie. People are paid to lie.
Yeah. Our world is literally nothing as it's been presented to us.
The world is a stage. It's all an illusion.
Yeah. And anything, go on.
Sorry, love. So for example, that video you shared it a couple of weeks ago of that one politician who was about to go on stage, and they have like the shot of him behind the stage, and he didn't have his mask on. So he puts on his mask and goes to the podium and takes off his mask, and just to show that he had a mask on. Like,
yeah.
That's an example of how the world is a stage, and people, these like politicians, these scientists, not all of them obviously, but the ones who are on the front lines, to me, they're just paid actors. That's what they are, crisis actors, right?
For sure. Like, I really feel like everyone that you see on TV, the politicians, the medical doctors, the nurses, everyone, like, majority of them are mind controlled and brainwashed, and they really do think sometimes that what they're doing is noble and good. Um, and then there's some who they're wise to it. They know that, you know, allopathic medicine doesn't really help anyone, and they know, they have an idea of the system they're in, but they're just so hooked into it for their own you know, benefit and for their own safety, that they kind of know deep down that what they're doing is essentially wrong, but they just carry on with it. So that's, you know, yeah. So like when people say, is there really a they, you know, the controllers, is there really a they? I like to tell people that, you know, the individuals we see on TV, the nurses, the doctors, the experts, the politicians, majority of them are just order followers. And a lot of them think that what they're doing is noble and good. And that the agendas come from up high.
Yeah, they're just, it's not them, right? They're not the ones who are making these rules. There's a controlling body of very powerful, super wealthy people that control everything. We're just, you know, pawns in their little chess game. That's all it is. And they, you know, even the president can't decide. They get orders from above. So when people get angry at the president or, you know, whatever, they don't realize that they're just to the people above, to the people who are more powerful than them.
Yeah.
We need to be at the system, and the system is those people. And
Right.
we'll just blame your common Joe.
Yeah. And whether those people at the top are even people is debatable.
Yeah.
I think, you know, or
Aliens, draconian entities. I don't think they're human at all. I think they're hybrids, but I don't think they're human.
agreed, Renee. I think they are hybrids of some kind. Like, I don't know. Yeah, large reptilian something or other, because when you think about what a reptile is, you know, reptile brain really only cares about three things: food, personal safety, and fornication.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they don't have like the bonding like mammals might have. You know, that's the next brain function. And then of course the higher brain function is what we have, and we, you know, we use that to do things in the world. But essentially, if you're existing from a reptilian brain, you're existing on really base desires and base instincts. And so some people say that the controllers, the ones at the very, very top, that they don't even have any idea that what they're doing is bad. They just do, and they just are parasites, kind of like you said. But you know, we are in a psychological, spiritual war. What they would love the most is for humans to never learn about how truly powerful we are, our true potential, our true divinity, and our true abilities. You know, they've kept us down in so very many ways, and one of them is via chemical biological warfare, which is dulling us down via the chemicals in our food, in our air, in our water, electromagnetic as well. And so, you know, that's just something to kind of keep in mind, and that there's a lot that we can do to make sure that we are in a position where we are very awake and not suppressed in our higher brain functions and our ability to see the truth and to spot deception.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
No, for sure. Divide and conquer, right? That's what's been happening right now. And again, they found out how to distract people from seeing the real truth, or focus on the things that truly matter, right? In the past, they've distracted us with sports, with entertainment. They always come up with some new thing to make sure people, it's kind of like, you know, doing this and making people look this way when the real shit is happening right over here. You know what I mean? And that's why they say the truth is hidden in plain sight. We're just refusing to see it. And again, like you said, biological warfare, chemicals, fluoride, it calcifies our brains. It really blocks us. It blocks our intuitive abilities. It blocks our emotional capacity. And everything that's been done this year in 2020 has been orchestrated to dehumanize us. I see so much dehumanization. The very fact that when I'm walking and there's somebody wearing a mask and they don't smile at me and they move away from me as if I'm a parasite, it's like unbelievable to me. It really, it's wrong, you know, on so many levels. I could never ever go down with that. I can never support something like that. If you're so afraid of other people, then you should just live in a basement at the very bottom and never leave your house again. But the fact that all of society has to suffer, um, is that not selfish? And we're the selfish ones?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Comes to me.
Yeah.
And I think because we're being so like, you know, dehumanized, we have to do things to bring back our humanity. All right, we have to connect, we have to love, we have to socialize, we have to remember who we are before we became who we are today. And imagine if, can you imagine, the more people are programmed to be this way, 10 years from now, we're just going to be robots. We're going to be sitting behind our desks and computers. We're going to be shopping online. Everything that's going to be done is online. There's not going to be any human contact anymore.
Yeah.
That's just terrifying to me.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. And you know, that reminds me of what I heard is kind of happening in China. It's called the intimacy crisis, and that's where everyone is. So many people are single. Like 37% of women, and like 26% of men are just single, and they're literally just they don't care to have a relationship or a family. They're just literally soldiers, going to work, coming home, doing their thing. And it's really sad. There has been a very concerted effort to break up families, you know, because a family unit is strong.
Yeah,
And then what's even stronger than a family unit? A couple of family units together, which is known as a tribe, right?
yeah,
So, you know, like that's where we kind of need to go. For those of us, we know that right now there's a division. There's a division. It's the Great Awakening, but it's also the Great Division.
yeah.
People, souls who are not going to awaken in this life and not going to awaken to what's happening. And some of us who have an idea of what's going on and we're going to break away, come together, and hopefully go back to some traditional values like farming and wildcrafting and living off the land and homesteading, and you know, learning to work with animals and plants and man all together in a beautiful cycle, the way that it's meant to be and the way that humans are supposed to live. You know, we've said this before, but I really don't feel that we're meant to live the way that we live, working so much. There's no time for self-reflection. There's no time for uh, meditation and you know, contemplating life, contemplating God, contemplating existence. We need that so desperately. And that's one of their greatest tools, is to keep us working so hard and so long that we have no spare time to realize the controllers, but also no spare time to develop our spiritual capacities.
For sure. And they push people to work. And in the meantime, they're lounging on their $2 million yachts, sipping champagne, laughing at us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. When I was doing the whole 9 to 5 thing, I felt like honestly like a slave to the system. I felt like my soul was so disconnected. I didn't have time to take care of myself and to pursue the things I loved, all in the name of making money because I had to have money to pay for my bills. And this is like the whole system that they've created. It's like a loop, it's like a pattern, a never ending pattern of dependence. You need a job to pay your bills. And then, you know, every day you look forward to the weekend, and when the weekend's done, you know, you go back to work. That's not a life, and you do that until you're 65, 70. Is that how we're supposed to live? Are we supposed to just sit behind desks or sit in the shop all day? Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
it really takes away people's autonomy, and people have normalized this. You know, since the Industrial Revolution, this has been normalized. In the past, people had roles. You know, people, there were traders. Everybody had their own skills and crafts. Some people were homemakers, some people were hunters, some people were farmers. They all had their roles. They would finish their tasks and then go home and then, you know, do whatever they want to do. And now we're like robots. We have our day planned out to the core. We come home and we can't wait to take off our bra, watch a bit of Netflix, and then do it again and again and again. And before you know it, your life has passed and you have nothing to show for it. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like you said, we all have different skills and gifts and abilities to add to, you know, the puzzle. We're all different pieces of the whole puzzle. And in a tribe scenario, we would all naturally fall into our role that suited us best. So now we have a society where it's all like this mold. And
Yeah.
if you're someone who's ever experienced depression, or even if you dipped your toe into depression and you realize, I don't fit into this mold, like, and then, you know, everyone around you is sort of like, well, that's just life. You just got to do it, you know? I just want to say to all those people who have ever felt depressed that, you know, your reaction is a perfectly natural reaction to what the fuck is going on in the world. You're actually the healthy one. Everyone else is around you can't see it, but you can see it. And then if there's no one in your life that can validate you like that, you just begin to think that you're crazy. And God forbid, I know we've lost a lot of people to suicide, you know, because of this. And so I just really hope people will hear that, that if you've ever felt depressed, hey, you're validated. You're actually intelligent for being able to see what's going on. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't find joy, because that's the next step, is learning to find joy in each and every day. And if you become accustomed to spotting it and learning to spot it, you know, life can become a miracle.
Absolutely, Amy. And thank you for that great reminder. I myself have found that my energy this year has been lower than it's ever been, to be completely honest with you, because I'm highly sensitive to what is going on around me, and I just cannot, for the life of me, accept it. I just can't. I can't call it cognitive dissonance against the system, but I can't accept what's going on. I still go to the supermarket and I refuse to see that this is the world, as like I refuse to accept this as normal. To me, this is never going to be normal. I can't wait for us to just leave and find some land and just move away from this, because to me it's sick. I don't want to bring children into the world where they walk around, people masked and afraid, and they can't have any friends and they can't socialize because, you know, people think of them as walking viruses. Guess what? Newsflash, we are walking viruses and bacteria. You cannot outrun that. You can't cheat nature. You can't do any of that. You know, you can try, you can support yourself and your immune system like I do, like my clients do, but you can't outrun it. You can't out-cheat it. And
Yeah.
for people to come and say that you can by injecting yourself with a foreign substance, how?
Yeah. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and something you said there, the psychological impacts on the children right now. We all need to pay attention to this, because these ramifications, these psychological things where you're not seeing the whole person's face and you're just seeing the eyes, and you don't get to see the smile, and all these little things are, you know, children, they take that in, and that's how they read the world, and that's how they read other people. And so they're, and each other too, like they're little friends. And so when they can't do that, like they're just, they're going to have all these issues with emotions and with communication, and these ramifications, they'll reverberate through the decades if we continue this mask wearing BS. So so whenever you see a kid in a store, and hopefully you're not wearing a mask, smile at them, like show them your facial expressions, like give them a little wave, you know, because it's a really scary time for kids, but it doesn't need to be at all.
And you know what, I wish I could call out parents who make their kids, little children, wear masks. It's inhumane to me. It's unconstitutional. It's just wrong. They're children. Their immune systems are great. They know what to do. Their bodies know what to do to fight this. Somebody asked mandatory vaccines. They're not going to make it mandatory as in they're going to have people knocking on your door and forcing you to get injected. What they're going to do is they're going to make your life so hard to the point that you're going to have to get it so that you're going to be able to do normal things like travel, like go to the store, like get a loan from the bank. No joke. That's what they're going to do. They're
Yeah.
going to create systems so that they can, you know, like divide and conquer. You're the outside. Now, when you get a vaccine, you get a little sticker that says, I got whatever. I got my shot or something, like a badge of honor.
More virtue signaling. Yeah.
Literally, you see that
Yeah.
one doctor who said children who are not vaccinated should wear yellow badges. Like, what is this? What are we doing? What?
Yeah.
This is wrong on so many levels, right?
It,
But you can still refuse the vaccine. You know, you have to find a good doctor. You're going to have to get the information that you need. You ask them if there's certain inserts in the vaccines. It's going to be hard, guys. It's going to be hard. And if you do know a doctor that would forge documents Write it down.
Yeah. If you, I saw a meme. It was like, if you made fake IDs in high school, this is your time to shine.
This is fine. This is we need to. We need all the Photoshop experts and the,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, I wanted to comment on something you said there, and it just flew out of my mind. But yeah.
Yeah, every day.
Um,
How is it in Lebanon? Are they forcing you to wear masks and get vaccinated and stuff like that? Are there ways to cleanse your body from vaccines you've already had? That's a very good question. There are actually many ways. So TRS it's like a supplement that you can take. It's a spray for heavy metals, and that you just put in your water and you drink it every day, and it helps to kind of bind to those heavy metals. You can also do spirulina, chlorella. You can either do powdered form or tablets and take that. Shilajit is really good for that. Anything with fulvic acids. Cilantro has chelating abilities, and in general, just detoxing. For example, I do my daily tinctures, my detox tincture. I do my daily elixirs. I make my own capsules, everything to support my liver, my blood, my lymph, to just excrete all of this toxic waste that we're inhaling, that we're smelling, that is coming through our water, that's in our cosmetics and things like that.
Yeah, you really do know your stuff, Ranim. I agree with all of those tactics. Another thing you can do is donate blood. So I know if you're squeamish, and I know like they won't let you in unless you wear a mask, but it is a really great thing to just, cleanse and to just, keep your blood really clean. And one other thing I'll mention is you can somewhat detox from heavy metals, but you can't detox from genetic modification.
No, if
messenger RNAs.
That your DNA, once your DNA is altered, there is no change back.
Right.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guys, with regarding this vaccine, even some of my family members, and it hurts me to say, are lining up to get it. And I've explained, like, this is so new. Why don't you wait until you see how other people are doing first before, you inject yourself with this? And that one nurse, I don't know if you guys saw that video of that nurse that got injected on, she got like the vaccine, and then she went on live camera, and then she collapsed. So I heard that she passed away, but I don't know. We can't confirm for sure. But
yeah.
just that people are having severe reactions, and the fact that people are normalizing these reactions is very concerning to me. We should never, if you take Tylenol and you start vomiting and you start having seizures, does that mean Tylenol is good for you? Is that a normal reaction? It is not. We should stop normalizing injuries and reactions. That's what we need to start doing.
Yeah, it's incredible to me that they've done that, and just the fact that they broadcast her getting the shot live, right? Live, show everyone she's getting the shot. And then when she has an adverse reaction, it's like, no, we want privacy, like give her family privacy. It's like, no, actually, you guys put this out online, and we actually deserve to know if she's okay and if she's still alive, So I think, like, I'd really like to hear from Nurse Tiffany. I'd really like to hear her do a video or something and just say, okay, like, I'm okay now. But yeah, there are rumors that she died. So it's not confirmed. And it's also been said that the pharmaceutical company is threatening her family to be quiet. And so
Are we surprised? How many times have holistic doctors and people who are whistleblowers been silenced and killed? We're not surprised.
Yeah.
And healthy. I really hope she didn't end up passing away. But I'm not surprised by any of this, truly. Unfortunately. What am I sipping on? This is a carrot juice. Amy loves carrots. Amy does a lot of raw carrot salads, right? Pete, right? So carrot, ginger, lime, pineapple, and then there was one more thing, and I can't remember what it was, but it's really, really good. And again, you want to detox juices. Take care of your body every day. It's not when you're sick, take action. You have to preventatively take action. This is why I make elderberry syrup on a regular basis. This is why I have my kvass. This is why I have fireside thoughts. And none of it tastes that great, in all honesty. Good for you, all right? It's good for you. Prevention is better than the cure. Should we try to save people who want the vaccine or focus on energy on building an alternative path? Um, that's a very good question. What do you think, Amy?
What is the question? Let's see. That should we try to save the people who want the vaccine or focus our energy on building an alternative path? Yeah, like there's a certain amount that we want to do to help other people, help save other people. Goodness, yeah, but all we can do is plant seeds. We can't like scream at people and tell them not to do it. Because again, like we are all autonomous beings, we're all sovereign beings, and if we choose to do something, that's our right. Even if it is like your loved one and you really don't want them to take it, it's their right to do that, and they're on their soul journey and you're on your soul journey. And as long as you're showing up as much as you can, sharing the truth with the people around you, and just influencing your circle of influence, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
So try not to focus too much energy on
You at the
saving people.
You can only plant seeds and hope that something will come to fruition. That's what I do. I'm never going to force anyone to do anything. Even when it comes to dietary preferences, nobody should ever force their dietary preferences on people based on their moral superiority. I think that's really egotistical. That used to be me a few years ago. And then I realized there is no right or wrong diet. Just like if people choose to vaccinate or not, that is their choice. My only premise is don't force it. Do not mandate it. It should never be mandated. People who preach my body, my choice, that should apply. Medical autonomy, sovereignty, and freedom.
Yeah, and no coercion, no taking away our natural God-given rights to take a needle. Like everyone, whether you stand on pro-vax or anti-vax, everyone should be concerned about coercive medical treatment. Like everyone should be concerned about that, because down the line it could be something else.
Yeah, and
So,
guys, the moment you accept one thing to happen and one little harmless thing, seemingly harmless, it's just going to get worse and worse. And 10, 20, 30, 50 years, God knows from now, you're going to realize you have no more autonomy over your own life and body. And I worry about the future of our future children. Like, I mean, at least I got to grow up in a normal society, but then what about the children of today? My heart cries for them. And we really, like, there's very few people fighting this, and I appreciate you and I see you and I recognize you and I love you. So y'all take it. Never.
so I guess like along the lines of what we can do, how we can prepare ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually going forward into 2021. One thing I could say is along with stopping taking in the garbage mainstream media through our eyes, we also got to make sure that we stop putting garbage in our body, right? And I know that you're such a big proponent of organic, fresh food, and I know that even those of us that do take really good care of our body, sometimes we slip up, right? We have like a day that where we feel really stressed about all that's going on, and we just get in the car and go to the grocery store and wind up in the cookie aisle, like what happened to me. And I totally did that. I got cookies and I like ate them, and I just completely I felt terrible. And but okay, that happened, where things happen. And you have to pick yourself back up again and get back on the track and align yourself. And just
Balance, babe.
yeah.
I have times I feel guilty too, but it's about balance. You can't be too extreme in anything in life. I've been at one point in my life, I was orthorexic, meaning I was overly obsessed with my health. I was super plant-based, and I thought if I touched even a potato fry, my body was going to explode. That's not the answer. The answer isn't to be one extreme or the other. It's to have a balance. It's to have a full range of nutrients in your body and take what nature gave you. And we have to understand that we have a symbiotic relationship with nature. And yeah, just stay balanced. And now I feel better than ever since resorting back to my ancestral ways of living and eating. Adrenals need that from time to time. 80-20. Yep, absolutely. Raw meat cures all eating disorders. Interesting. Balance. Are you vegan? No, I'm not vegan. What do you think of singularity? I don't know how to answer that.
Singularity. Well, I mean, I guess that means when we're outside of this experience and we are the one, and we are we are source, whereas we're in duality right now. I guess that's sort of what that means. But yeah, we're in a biological simulation. By the word simulation, you shouldn't think that that means that it's not important or not divine, because it absolutely is. But yeah, you can expand on that if you like.
I'm just going through some of the comments. Do you guys have any recommendations on how to restore eyelid health? I've had inflammation there for years and still struggling with it. Thank you for putting out positivity. You are welcome to message either myself or Amy, like send us a DM afterwards. But I would do like soaks, honestly. There's different kinds of soaks that you can put for your eyes that would help draw out heat and inflammation. You can even put a bit of castor oil on your eyelids at night and just leave it overnight. And that's also going to help grow your eyelashes, by the way. So that's
nice.
fun. But I'll give you some more detailed responses for that.
I would suggest for that person to maybe look at their histamine balance, like if they're having too many histamine foods, because I know if your eyes are swollen, it's kind of a spot that it's sort of like an allergic reaction a little bit. So look at the histamines in your food. Too many fermented foods, maybe just look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And also like the things that you're putting on your face. If you wear if the pillows that you're sleeping on, are they clean? There's so many reasons for that. But anything that presents in your body is just a symptom of environment. So just make sure you're looking at all of the possible factors. Inform people. I'm looking. There's just so many. Thank you guys. I'm loving all of your responses. What are some products to buy for a first-time buyer? Basics, foundational stuff. So I guess for detoxing, again, always support your liver. Okay, the easiest and cheapest thing for you to do is to go to the supermarket, get yourself, or the farmer's market, wherever you live. I know a lot of people who are tuning in are from Canada, so it's a little harder in the winter, but get yourself some arugula, some dandelions, some bitter stuff, some ginger, some lime, and make a salad out of that. You know, raw carrot salad is actually phenomenal for that. Burdock root, you can make like a tea with that. You can find that at a Chinese store. And in the summer in Canada, you can actually harvest burdock. It's growing all over the place. So there's so many different ways to help your body. TRS is another supplement. You can hit me up and I can literally make you a capsule that would help chelate and bind to toxins and heavy metals. That's what a lot of my clients take. Amy, any other products?
Yeah. Shilajit. I really love Shilajit. It has the ability to chelate heavy metals, and then it also gives you this broad range of trace minerals. And I think across the board, our diets are just mineral deficient. And as we're having more toxicity in our world being like sprayed on us and in all the other ways, then we need more nutrients and minerals in order to detox that. So if there's more toxins, we need more nutrition. So yeah, just buy that organic, fresh food, you guys. Like, it is worth the money.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth the taste and the money and the benefits. So yeah,
Absolutely.
get your nutrients from food.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a few more responses. Have you heard of Abraham Hicks? Yes, I have. Raneem, how can I begin to research what my ancestors ate? That's a wonderful question, Jackie. What I did is, because my ancestors are Lebanese, Syrian, Armenian, I just started researching. First of all, I started asking people when I was in Lebanon, you know, what did our people traditionally eat? I would go to little apothecaries and I would see what kind of herbs we use and grow that are native to the region. And I'm like, oh my God, like oregano, thyme, rosemary, all of those amazing kitchen culinary herbs are actually medicinal herbs, right? And then I found out, okay, so Armenians like to eat, you know, pomegranates, for example. Lebanese and Syrian folks would have goats, right? So we would have a lot of goats and sheep. We didn't really have cows as much. So I love goat milk, for example. We didn't grow any wheat. We would import wheat from Egypt. So I knew that wheat wasn't kind of like native to the region, but we grew lentils and beans, which is why my body responds very well to like beans, and some people get super bloated. And again, because of the lectins. So you would just have to find out, you know, where your ancestors are from, and then just kind of break that down, and then find the diet that suits you best. Experiment, play around, and then see which one works for you and what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. So what else can we chat about just preparing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So we could touch a little bit on movement as well, just to kind of remind everyone, you know, make sure that you're moving your body. A
Yeah.
lot of us can get really stuck just in front of the laptop or the
All-
phone, and then the whole day is passed and you're like, I haven't done anything with my body. So, you know, if you're really stressed, don't do too much cardio. Make sure that you switch it up throughout the week. Do a little bit of yin work in movement like Tai Chi and yoga, and slow breathing exercises, gentle movement, but then also make sure that you're building strength in your body and you're getting your heart rate up and breaking a sweat. So, so something you can do to kind of just, you know, prepare for
Absolutely. And
nothing necessarily specific, but just the future.
you'll always feel better when you move, right? Something as simple as getting like a rebounder trampoline. They're $30. They're super affordable, and you just jump on that for 10 minutes, and that's all you need to get your heart rate pumping. And like Amy mentioned, Tai Chi, Qigong. You can join a channel called Gaia. It's like a Netflix subscription channel for spirituality. And you can look at some exercises and workflows there. You can also hit up Amy. Amy does customized, like she works one-on-one with her clients to bring movement and mindfulness practices into their daily lives. Other ways to prepare yourself, you know, besides eating healthy, being conscious of what you're eating, is turn off the news, turn off the TV, throw it out the window if you have to.
Yeah. Destroy your TV. Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
can watch TV and watch your shows or whatever, but don't rely on CNN for your news. Oh, it's just because CNN says it's true doesn't make it true. So turn off the news, learn, be conscious of where you're getting your information from. Be conscious of the people you're talking to, the energy that you're sharing with people. If people are draining you and people don't make you feel good about yourself and they constantly instill fear in your life, those people need to leave. Those people need to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Serve you.
Yeah, sometimes those relationships with certain people, they just fall away naturally. And, you know, I just say don't fight it, because wherever there's space in the universe, something will fill it. So if someone in your life falls away because of different views, then it makes the space for someone else to come in, like a new friend that's really aligned.
Absolutely, babe.
Yeah.
And just, I guess another thing would be just be informed, stay on top of things, understand what's going on, especially, you know, with the whole medical autonomy thing. Fight for your rights. You can even like email or write to your MPs and letting them know how you feel, and that, you know, a lot of what's going on, the lockdowns, small businesses closing, the world shutting down, it's really harming people. It really is. People's mental and emotional well-being is really like garbage right now, in all honesty. A lot of people can't even see their families for the holidays. A lot of people are stuck in isolation. That is not going to make you healthy. That's the opposite of health. That is really the opposite of health. The solution isn't to just wear masks, wash your hands, and stay home. That is not. That's just a band-aid. So understand that, you know, and putting things into place that would make you feel good. Hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies because
Yeah,
you know, everything.
absolutely. Doing those things that bring you joy, and making sure that you're getting a good variety of things, you know, in your day to day. And something you reminded me of too is just, you know, taking action. And this shouldn't stress anyone out, you know, but I think that it makes you really feel really good when you know that you take a little bit of action every day, whether it is just smiling at someone, whether it's like, I'm going to just go into this one store and I'm not going to wear a mask, and I'm going to say I'm exempt, and I'm just going to stand in my power, and I'm not going to do it. So just taking action, little tiny steps, one day at a time, that is what we need in order to push this movement forward, and for us to maintain our rights. So, you know, it doesn't have to be some big grandiose action that you need to do all the time. It's just a matter of every single day doing something for the cause, and so that you can go to bed at night feeling like you took action, and you know, and that you're part of this great awakening.
Yes, for sure, Amy. Yeah, and hobbies. I know a lot of people tend to get bored right now because everything's closed. So You can do like DIY crafts, even if you're not good at it. It's about doing something like DIY crafts. You can, for example, myself, I'll just speak my own experience. We installed a basketball hoop to get our bodies moving. We installed a dartboard we found for like $7, and now we've been playing darts. I got a paint set, like a super cheap paint
Oh,
set. Painting, not a great.
yes.
Let me just show you. Actually, I
Amazing.
like beautiful ancient African paintings, and then I saw this gorgeous. I painted it. You know what I mean? And
Art
anything,
therapy.
exactly, anything that calls to your soul that will bring you peace of mind and make you feel good, I really urge you to pursue that.
That is such good advice. Yeah, art therapy, so important. And yeah, just those little things that remind us of these incredibly beautiful, creative beings that we are.
Exactly. And you can even walk, go out on walks, um, go to the nearest nature reserve or ravine or whatever you have near you and just look around and connect with the earth. Even if it's cold, when it's cold, when I was living in Canada, I would put on snow pants and I would have my like huge sweater and I'd go walking and I have my snow boots. So I
Yeah.
like a little snowman waddling around, but hey, I get to be outside. So,
Yeah. Yeah, totally. If you just bundle up, you're good, you know.
yeah.
And I would suggest if you're going to go for that walk, then invite your neighbor, you know, someone who you know that lives alone, because then you get out, you get exercise. So, and then you also help someone, and you're taking action, and you're doing something, you know, for the cause. So you're kind of like two birds in one stone there. So making sure, like within your community, that you know, you're having care towards your community as well, and just making sure no one's kind of getting left behind, or uh, you know, yeah.
Um, that's actually something I told Amy we have to hang up soon because my partner and I are volunteering with our local church to help feed homeless people. So we're going to be packaging food and we're going to be distributing it to the homeless people. And again, it's just a way to bring back humanity, to make people feel like they're cared for and that they're not alone in this world. There's so many people that are so deeply lonely, and this pandemic is just, you know, exacerbating it. So if you can make one person's day a little bit better, why not do it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful message. 100%, you know, and it helps you feel better too. If you're feeling in a crap mood, sometimes just helping someone out can make you feel really great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we had a few people responding some stuff. Let's see. Saludos, Ranim. I took your advice and used mullein. It's been great for my lungs. Keep going. I'm so happy, Leandro. I'm so happy your lungs are doing better. And if you ever need extra lung support, let me know. I've actually come up with a really nice oxynol, which is a vinegar infused with honey and herbs like wild cherry bark, elecampane, marshmallow root, and that's going to help soothe your throat and soothe your respiratory tract. So again, extra protection, right? Since COVID it attacks the respiratory system, we got to take care of that. And I also take a supplement called NAC every day. So that's also very helpful, Leandro, in case you're still hearing.
Is that niacinamide, Ranim?
Sorry, what?
Is that niacinamide, NAC?
Oh yeah, yeah, NAC, no, N-acetyl cysteine.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Cool. I'm going to have to look into that one.
Wrong. I'll reconfirm that later. I'll message you.
For sure. Always learning from you. Love it.
It's always my honor. How much health is determined by the food a person eats? Would you say the most important factor? Is food the most important factor, Amy?
What is? Sorry.
Is food the most important factor to health?
Um, like no, but it's right up there. You know, I would say honestly, it's your mindset and your how you deal with stress is one of the biggest factors for health. But then food is right up there too, because if you could have a really great mindset and then just be eating garbage, and you're going to deteriorate. So yeah, you know, yeah, how you deal with stress, your mindset, and food.
That's why they call it holistic health, because again, you could be the healthiest person, like food wise, and you could be, just juicing and eating all the right foods. But if you're constantly stressing and if you're in that perpetual state of flight or fight and your body's not able to rest, you're not going to be able to digest. You're not going to be able to absorb. You're not going to be able to use up those nutrients, and your body is going to go into deficiency mode because of that. So food is definitely one of the most important factors, but it's not the only factor. There's your stress levels, your sleep habits, your lifestyle, your movement, your activity, your mental and emotional well-being. All of that comes together, and I would say they're all equal. Really, there's no one thing that's more important than the other.
Right.
Herbs help with anxiety and not being sleepy during the day. Herbs for anxiety, I love adaptogens a lot, and they're
Ashwagandha.
yeah, ashwagandha is wonderful. You have maca, you have licorice root. I'm going to name some stuff that might be more accessible to you. Goji berries are also adaptogenic. They have adaptogenic properties. Mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms. And then when it comes to specific herbs, I love passion flower. I love using borage and hops. St. John's wort sometimes, especially if you're feeling, really low moods, but you got to be careful with St. John's. There's so many amazing herbs out there that can help support that. I've actually written so many posts about anxiety, so please feel free to go back to some of my older posts.
Totally. I would suggest for anxiety too, to put on some tribal drum music and shake. So just do some shaking medicine.
I love
or dance. One of those. But shaking is really good, and you only needed to do it like 3 minutes, 5 minutes max, if you do it hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so you can just part of like Qigong and Tai Chi is tapping and just moving that energy, getting that energy to flow throughout your body. And that's why I love trampoline, because you're moving. I also do a lot of handstands to get that blood flow going through my brain and just nourishing every part of my body. And every time I do a handstand afterwards, I feel super energized. Breath work. Amy and I both love doing breath work exercises, right? Because when you breathe properly, you allow that oxygen to flow through your body, alkalize your body, detoxify, energize you, and just make you feel so good. Oxygen, breath is life.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Serge. And acetylcysteine. I guess I was right.
Oh, okay.
There's just so many abbreviations, and sometimes it's like
so many molecules out there.
Yeah, so guys, we're going to be wrapping up soon because Instagram only allows lives for an hour. But drop your last minute questions below so that Amy and I can respond to them. And in the meantime, Amy, please tell people where to find you, a little bit of what you do, and how best to reach you.
Yeah, you can find me mostly on Instagram at AmyRose_rewilding. I'm a holistic health practitioner, and I help people get back on track, and I also help them feel joy amidst all of this chaos. I've shifted things more so to perspectives, helping people really shift their perspective and develop their spiritual side, as well as really coaching them to get their diet and movement and breathing right.
I love that. That's so beautiful, Amy. And
Yeah.
Amy, a gifted practitioner. Anyone would be lucky to work with her.
Thank you, Raneem. So kind. And I feel the same about you too. And I would always recommend anyone to go to you as well. You're a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you, honey. And I'm telling you, all reflections. And I'm always so happy to talk to you. And one last thing. So Kirby was asking before, do you feel like there's a shift where men are encouraged to move away from the family unit? The MGTOW, it's an abbreviation for men going to something.
MGTOW, I think. Yeah, men going their own way.
Yeah, men going. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there's kind of been lots of shifts. You know, I think that the neo kind of feminist movement that's sort of anti-men has created MGTOW, which is, well, men going their own way sort of thing, you know? So it's sort of like a product of that. But yeah, there has been a concerted effort to, you know, break up the family and to also to feminize men. Atrazine, which is a pesticide, has been shown to cause frogs to literally develop female anatomy instead, like male frogs developing female anatomy. And this is in our water. It's sprayed on our produce.
Yeah.
And so,
We're
yeah.
gonna tap water and get a good filter.
Mm-hmm. And Shilajit really helps bring up testosterone as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Shilajit is actually phenomenal for that. So, you know, if you can't afford to buy organic produce, which is completely understandable because it is ridiculously overpriced, soak your vegetables and fruits. You know, get a big tub, put some salt in there, some sea salt, put some vinegar in there, and let it soak for 5 to 10 minutes. And that's going to at least help a little with that toxic residue that's coating the produce. That's just one way. And again, I strongly urge everybody to invest in a good water filter. And there's so many out there, and there's no right or wrong answer. Some people will tell you reverse osmosis is the best. Some people will tell you distilled water is the best. So I don't believe there's a right or wrong answer. I just believe there's so many options, and it's up to you to decide based on your own research.
Yeah, for sure. I personally have a water distiller by Aquanui. I love it so much. And I add minerals back in, and then I also go a step further and I put magnesium bicarbonate.
Yes.
It's a lot of work, the water, but you know, distillation cleans it the most, in my opinion. And as long as you're remineralizing it, then I think that's the best way to go.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. But you're right though. There's really no wrong answer.
Because I have so many health influencers, and people will like be like Kangen is the absolute best, and then people are like Kangen is nothing, and then so I don't know what to believe at this point. I know
Yeah.
I'll do my own research and you know do again it's also within your budget. Some people can't afford paying $2,000 for a water machine. So
Yeah. My distiller is 600, and it's a very basic process where the water's just boiled and the steam is caught and then put into a different container, so the steam is pure. When you think about like a Kangen machine, I mean, it just kind of attaches to your sink and then kind of goes through a couple like filter things, and you can change the settings, and it's really just it's, I don't know, it's not clean enough in my opinion. It's sort of like alkaline tap water. I don't know.
Okay, I would actually love the name of your distiller, because then maybe that's definitely something I'd be interested in investing in.
Yeah, for sure. The link's in my bio.
For detoxifying is something Amy's spoken many times about, red light therapy. Have you guys ever heard of that? I've mentioned it before, but red light therapy is basically super healing modality that helps to bring down inflammation in the body, help support healing, support collagen synthesis, and it's just overall wonderful. And you can find some devices that are like $100. Obviously, if you pay like for the bigger ones, they're going to be a little better, but you can start with something very simple and do 5 to 10 minutes of daily red light therapy. And that's going to help also detoxify your body.
Yeah, absolutely. Love red light therapy. I'll put it right on my thyroid to like help my metabolism essentially. And yeah, it's incredible. And I actually use it for my Thai massages as well. I'm a Thai massage practitioner as well. And I'll blast my clients with the light as well during their sessions, and they love it.
Let there be light.
Yeah.
Got some great recommendations for water. Structured waters, say thank you to it. Absolutely. So Serge, I as long as I've known him, he would always write "I love you" at the bottom of his water, and then he'd say "I love you" to it right before drinking it. So thank you again for that reminder. Mega Home Distiller, $250 on Amazon. Thanks for that reco as well. $600 is so far out of my budget. I completely understand. You know, sometimes they'll do sales on certain items, but really it's about don't go out of your budget just to get healthy. You know, work with what you have, and if you happen to have a little bit money saved up for something, then you know, go for it. So don't like make yourself go broke just to get healthy. Two amazing like-minded ladies. Hope to meet someday. I hope to meet you too, love. I think our time is almost up. Amy, as always, it is such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for blessing my beautiful life with your existence. I'm so grateful to call you my friend. Honestly, it's such a pleasure.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Renee. When I met you all those years ago in Toronto, I just knew there was something about you, and I'm just so glad we've remained connected throughout all these years.
You're so sweet. Thank